and he kept hitting me. He kept hitting me, and I was shouting, Emeka, if you hit me one more time, I would die. I can't feel anything. I was only seeing the stars. And I did. I slaved for that family. Everything that they wanted to do, I was a designated driver.
So after listening to the interview with Emeka Ike's ex-wife, Emeka Ike, the Nollywood actor, all I can say is it is very important to listen to two sides of a story. Like if something happens, I don't think we should judge from one side of a story. If one person comes out to say their own part, it is very important that we know or listen to the other part of the story before we start bashing and judging. After listening to this interview, spending minutes to listen to this interview, and also watching the one with Emeka Ike, all I can say is I believe this woman. I'm not trying to take sides, but I believe what this woman had to say. I mean, this woman stayed for a long time without having to react, without having to come out to judge and say her own part of the story. She took the pain in quietness and all of that. I mean, a lot of persons will say, oh, she even said she spent how many years in the whole trauma, the whole abuse, and a lot of persons will say, oh, why didn't she just leave? Why would she stay after beating her, after trying to paralyze her? My dear, it is not that easy. It is not that easy to just wake up and say, oh, I'm going to leave my marriage, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that, and just walk away. A lot of women will stay and try to endure and try to see how they can work on it or try to make it better. But I am so proud of this woman that she finally had to come out to say her own side of the story, because it is very important. A lot of persons were bashing her from the interview Emeka Ike had with I don't know, they were bashing her and saying a lot of bad things about her. Honestly, I'm not trying to take sides, but I honestly believe this woman's story. When I watched Emeka Ike's interview, it was so full of pity, like someone who was seeking pity so badly, and that is such a bad thing. It seems like a narcissistic behavior. But anyways, what do you guys think?
But until the last time that he did beat me up and I was almost paralyzed, that was when I decided that I need to go. But still, I stayed 2 more years after that, but...
He beat you until you were almost paralyzed?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We had gone out with the kids and we came back, and I was changing my daughter, and he saw, her nappy rash, and it was a bad nappy rash, and he was all over the place, angry and all that she'd been molested. And I said, how? This is nappy rash. And he was going on and shouting, who did I give his daughter to, this and that, and they need to check her and everything. And I tried to calm him down that this is nappy rash. I use Vaseline instead of powder. That's why it's so red, that kind of thing. And he was going on, and I was like, okay. And at that point, I was getting upset, like, you can't be doing this. And then I was like, okay, give me money, let me take her to the hospital and let's get her checked. And then he hit me, And at that point, I had you can't keep beating me up, and I held his hand. And so he just turned me over and hit me, and then he hit me at the back of my neck here, and that was it. I lost sensation to all my body parts. I went down on the floor. I couldn't feel my arms. I couldn't feel anything, and he kept hitting me. He kept hitting me, and I was shouting, Emeka, if you hit me one more time, I would die. I can't feel anything. I was only seeing the stars. So when he hits me, it goes poof, that kind of thing. And that was only what I was seeing. I could talk, I could hear, I could see, but I couldn't feel. This was in front of our kids. He's really convinced I won't speak out. I think so. I think he really feels that he finished the job. She's never going to talk. I think so. Yeah, and I'm very sure this is going to be a shocker to him when this airs. I think so. In fact, I'm expecting him to sue me, because I don't expect him to really stop, but I would rather we go legal, That's the way I do things. Let's, just iron things out. I'm here because he dragged me here. He's been dragging me here for the past 10 years.